Motor Show, and whilst we have got the Senna GTR over there, which has been taking all of the spotlight, I want to start this video with this. This McLaren 720S is one that tickles my fancy. Parker, what's up?
How's it going, dude?
You good?
I'm really good.
How are you enjoying the Motor Show?
It's the best motor show in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, it just,
I don't know why I feel proud of that. It's not even like where I'm from.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, it is.
Europe.
It's great.
But I've just noticed this, and
Stunning color.
beautiful specification. I feel like we should start here because we're then going to head over to the Mansory stand.
It'll be stark contrast between the two.
The largest contrast, I think, from any car. I think it's probably the best looking car on the stand, I'd say. The Senna's the coolest. This is the best looking. Now, one of my favorite things about the Geneva Motor Show are the tuning companies that bring their masterpieces, in some people's eyes,
In their eyes, certainly.
definitely in their eyes, but there's one manufacturer in particular that always comes here and seems to do it bigger and better every single year, and that is Mansory. So we're headed over to the Mansory stand because I feel like they've got the scoop on the new releases. They've got an 812 Superfast, and they've already added a bunch of carbon fiber to it, and they have got a McLaren 720S. Now, we saw this car about an hour ago and kind of fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
In its own right, it's unique, it's special. Whilst it probably won't work in a wind tunnel in the same way that a normal McLaren 720S would, we are now walking onto the Mansory stand, so we get to show you guys the DB11, which is there, and the McLaren 720S. So let me talk you through this car, why it is unique, why it is special, and let me know in the comments whether you would do this to your McLaren. So what better place to start than the rear of the car with 4 exhaust pipes right here, which make the car already seem way more aggressive. But the one thing that you cannot ignore is the amount of forged deconstructed carbon fiber. We've got a brand new rear diffuser that extends wider than the entire car. This car is finished in satin silver, which looks utterly incredible and shows off the lines incredibly well. Just check out the detail of the carbon fiber. It is just utterly bonkers. We have got a brand new revised rear wing, which I can imagine works in the same way as the McLaren 720S Active Aero does. Check out the interior on this thing. It's a little bit out there, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the two-tone blue with all of the stitching and the acid green / ambulance yellow colors, but it does work because the outside is, well, quite subtle. In comparison to the interior, the color is very classy. The carbon fiber adds down the side. Check out how much carbon fiber there is down the side. Again, a completely new revised design. Mansory wheels, paying homage to the fact that this car was built in Great Britain, is pretty damn awesome. And then round the front, check out how aggressive this new bonnet is, which I am absolutely loving. I think this car actually looks incredible. The fact Mansory have been able to get their hands on the McLaren 720S and put so much R&D into this car already, the attention to detail is just absurd. I am a massive fan of this, even though McLaren will probably want to shoot me. I think this looks so cool, and whilst a large percentage of McLaren 720S owners will not get to anywhere near the potential of this car's capabilities, maybe if they took it onto the track, why not shove a body kit on and make it look unique and add your own personal touch to it? And that is the greatest thing about Mansory. They have got a catalogue of carbon fiber finishes, let alone leathers, let alone power upgrades. So this car is a completely custom car. Apparently it's going to be coming to London, so I cannot wait to see this on the roads in Great Britain. But to start off with, on the Mansory stand, I have to say, the 720S is up there with one of the craziest, one of the most bonkers, and whilst the 720S as standard from factory is revolutionary and futuristic, and some people still can't quite comprehend what that's going to look like on the road, I think this turns it into an utter spaceship. I think I'm going to ask Parker,
Yeah.
what do you think of this? The Mansory Bugatti variant, I'm sure it's got its own special edition name. I mean, you're like...
It is, they have done something to it.
They've done something to it.
We were talking about what to call the finish, and it's kind of this combination of forged carbon, stone, marble, winter, Arctic camo.
That's it. Like I was just about to say, this is like arguably the most expensive way to do a camouflage finish on the car.
Probably over $1 million.
Way over $1 million.
Just for the modifications.
Yeah, exactly. The car's what? 1.52 million.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. The badges are diamond encrusted. The interior continues the finish throughout. We've got white leather, which I'm always a massive fan of. Now, the really interesting thing for me is working out how they do this. Like, do they take all of the body panels and coat them, or do they completely change the body panels? Because the engine bay is exactly the same as the body.
Yeah, I know.
How do they do this? Like,
it's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
It takes a lot of guts to clearly buy a car like this and then modify it in this way. And they do it every single year in a different fashion.
That's why I have so much respect for Mansory, because whilst a lot of people probably aren't fans of their work, the fact that they come every year and do it bigger, more outrageous, and in my eyes, better.
Yeah, and they don't give a shit.
They don't care.
They don't care what anyone thinks. They're like, oh, you don't like it? Whatever. We'll make it even crazier this year.
That's what I absolutely love, because for the last 2 or 3 years that I've been coming, I've been chatting to people, journalists, media, YouTubers, saying, what's the best car, what's your worst car? Most of the time the worst car is on the Mansory stand. And I completely disagree. I think they're some of the coolest cars. I think the 720S is up there with
720S is amazing. One
of the most aggressive looking cars of the entire show. Mansory were one of the first people to display deconstructed forged carbon.
Yeah.
Now look at Lamborghini. They've got it all over their car.
Yeah.
So even though a lot of people are like, what the hell are they doing? Mansory are trendsetters. Aftermarket companies, trendsetters. Maybe not with that, but maybe with some of their other cars. I was one of the first people to see and film the Mansory Stallone 599 on the roads. I saw it in London. I was blown away by how it looked and how it sounded. It was owned by one of the princes of Dubai, and now they have got their hands on an 812 Superfast, and they have converted it into a Mansory Stallone. Now, there is one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, and it is the carbon fiber eye sockets that enhance the size of the headlights, which, when you look at it from this distance, it kind of ruins and takes away from the aggression that the Ferrari actually produced with the 812. There is so much carbon fiber on this thing, it is just a joke. The paint is about 4 or 5 levels thick. It has just got this incredible metallic flake to it. The carbon fiber spoiler probably isn't one thing that I would spec on the car. But if you want a unique 812 Superfast, if you've already taken delivery of your 812 Superfast and you want something a little bit different, then why not go for the Mansory Stallone? It is just absolutely out of this world, the fact that they've already got an 812 Superfast, they've had time to engineer everything, and they have converted it into this beast that is sat next to a Bentley Bentayga and a Rolls-Royce Phantom. This end to the Geneva Motorshow is what I love so much, because the tuner companies are all bunched together. They're almost like hidden away in the corner. We've got StarTech here, Brabus are literally right there, Mansory are there, and ladies and gentlemen, we have already made it to the Liberty Walk stand, where they've got an M4 Cabriolet, they've got an Aventador, which looks to be like an Aventador SV. Looking at the front, it's a completely revised body kit. They've got a Nissan GTR, and they've also got a Ford Mustang. The Nissan GTR and the Mustang are actually UK cars built at Liberty Walk Europe, where I visited and checked out the Aventador and the 488, and actually got a ride in the 488, but here we go.
I like that they've brought cars from different parts of the world. We've got the Italian supercar, Japanese, American, German, and they all.
This is a cool stand.
This is cool.
And this is, I think, a brand new body kit. Look at the front.
Oh.
I believe it's an Aventador SV looking at the front.
It does look like that.
But the carbon fiber hood is very similar to the one that you just put on your Huracan, which I am a massive fan of.
Thank you.
But the entire car here, like, look how aggressive this is. I think this could almost get done for murder. Like, if you hit someone's ankle with that thing, you're gonna kill someone. It's so sharp, every angle is so aggressive on this thing that it just looks like it's got about 4 or 5 front splitters. It's just utterly crazy. And I'm taking a lot of attention and interest in this car in particular. Of course, we've got the CSR2 logo down there, because you can get Liberty Walk cars in the game as well. I don't have one yet, but look at the engine struts. Jesus. You see, look at the engine bay. I mean, who would go and buy a BMW M4 cab and be like, yeah, that's exactly what I need. That's what I'm missing. Because they're not cheap kits.
No, and they're not really reversible, right? So
they are now. You can get.
They are.
Yeah, you can get the entire panel with this already bolted on. That you take the stock panel off and put the new panel on. So
that's smart.
You don't have to cut it up now.
That also probably costs just as much as
it's more expensive.
Taking it off and then buying new vehicles.
And whilst aftermarket tuners are setting trends every year at the Geneva Motorshow, let's take a look at the new Rimac Concept 2. There's a little bit of filming going on, so the stand is quite empty. But a couple of hours ago, they launched the Concept 2 with autonomous driving for the track. There is a driving mode called Sport Coach or Track Coach or something along those lines, where on the heads-up display, they project driver's lines and advice, braking points and accelerating points for tracks that are set up in that car. You can take this car to Spa and start setting faster and faster lap times. It is Rimac that are taking autonomous driving and turning it into a sport, turning it into track driving, which I am all for. I'm a big fan of that. 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds and nearly 2,000 brake horsepower. So that car is definitely the future. There is so much going on at the Geneva Motor Show, so I'm going to stop this video and get cracking on some more stuff. Let me know in the comment box below what you think of Mansory, Liberty Walk, and whether you think Rimac is going to take the world record for.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi. Các bạn hãy bấm like, comment và hãy bấm nút đăng ký để ủng hộ cho kênh mình nha.